Arsenal are seemingly on the verge of completing two big deals in a matter of days. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to center around the big breaking news surrounding Arsenal Football Club within the past 24 hours or so, that they are on the verge of completing two big deals in a matter of days. It's already been a very interesting transfer window for the Gunners. They've made some good signings, it seems. They've made some questionable signings, it seems. There's been a bit of a divide in the Arsenal fan base over whether or not it's been a good or very exciting transfer window. But I think things are about to get more interesting, more exciting, as they are seemingly on the verge of completing two big deals for two players that they've had on their radars for a while. Last night, news broke from David Ornstein that they had finally seemingly found an agreement with Sporting Lisbon for the Swedish striker known as Viktor Gyokeres. That deal seems to be over and done with. We can finally lay that entire saga to rest, it seems. It looks like he is going to be going to Arsenal after Ornstein broke the news of an agreement between the two clubs last night. And then this morning, Fabrizio Romano has seemingly confirmed that Arsenal have also agreed the deal of Cristhian Mosquera, the centre-back that plays in Spain for the Spanish side known as Valencia. We're going to be talking about these two big signings, and we're going to be talking about Arsenal Football Club themselves. But before we go any further discussing all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you all to get involved in the comments section as well. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling about any of these transfer stories, and obviously about Arsenal Football Club themselves in the comments section down below. Use and abuse that section, people, and talk to me on any of these things. I'm sure what you have to say will make for great and interesting reading. So without further ado, let's get on with the conversations. Let's talk Arsenal, let's talk Cristhian Mosquera, and of course, our certain Viktor Gyokeres. Now, about these two players, we know that Arsenal have been chasing them for a while, especially Viktor Gyokeres. He's the main one, he's the main guy, he's the guy that's going to be taking all the headlines, I'm sure, that Arsenal have finally got this deal seemingly over the line. It seems that Arsenal have been chasing this guy. We obviously know about the situation involving, them wanting a striker, them having a bit of a list of names, shall we say, then them seemingly narrowing it down to one of Sesko or Gyokeres and having a bit of a toss-up there between them as to which one they were going to go for. And then it seemed like they had finally decided on pursuing Viktor Gyokeres. Now, maybe that wasn't their first choice or not, remains to be seen, remains to be heard of. But either way, as much as I hate that they are going for Gyokeres, it is the right choice. Let's face it. I feel like he is the missing piece to the Arsenal puzzle right now, especially from their starting 11 point of view. And I do feel like this could be the needle mover. This could potentially be the signing that may just get them across the finish line in terms of winning major silverware for not just the season coming up, but maybe even for future seasons to come as well. And Cristhian Mosquera is a 21-year-old centre-back who can do something for the here and now, can provide some decent depth for Arsenal, and maybe go on to better his career and obviously evolve his career and maybe get more involved with Arsenal and the senior squad, the first team, later on in his development and in his career. Like I say, last night the news broke from a certain David Ornstein on Viktor Gyokeres. He basically stated that an agreement in principle had been reached for Viktor Gyokeres' move from Sporting Lisbon to Arsenal. Deal worth €63.5 million guaranteed, plus €10 million in add-ons, and the Swedish striker's representatives waives fee to help facilitate 27-year-old making Sporting Lisbon's to Arsenal switch. That was the news from David Ornstein last night. It was quickly jumped upon by a lot of other news outlets and journalists that this deal and this saga is pretty much now put to rest. And then this morning, no rest for the wicked. Arsenal seemingly pulling off two moves in a matter of days, as Fabrizio Romano put this out. Breaking: Cristhian Mosquera to Arsenal. Here we go. It's been given the here we go treatment by the man himself, Fabrizio Romano. Verbal agreement in place with formal steps to follow. €15 million fee plus add-ons. Total package under €20 million. Long-term deal in place. Mosquera, who only wanted Arsenal, medical ready later this week if all goes to plan. That was from the top tier journalist's mouth on both of these situations. Now look, Mosquera will get overshadowed, and you know, it was maybe as harsh as it may maybe to say, rightfully so. Gyokeres is the bigger star. Gyokeres is the bigger piece of the puzzle here. Gyokeres is the main man for the here and now of Arsenal Football Club. But it's not to say that it won't be a bad thing. You know, going under the radar can help. He's gonna go in. He's gonna be backup initially, you would imagine, to the likes of William Saliba and Gabriel. Maybe there's a contingency plan in progress for if one of them two does leave in the coming years. There's already been talk about Saliba maybe having his head turned by Real Madrid, so that could obviously be a possibility later on down the line. But at least, like I say, there is a contingency plan in there. At least there's a bit of strength and depth in there that's coming in the form of Mosquera to Arsenal. But as far as what Viktor Gyokeres is concerned, look, we've been covering this story a lot this transfer window. We've been umming and ahhing about where his footballing future may lie. You know, whether it be somewhere else in Europe, maybe be someone else in the Premier League. But Arsenal have seemingly been the constant link, the strongest link. And that is obviously how it's turned out here. It does seem that this is done and dusted as far as what a lot of people are concerned. It is pretty much signed, sealed, and yet to be delivered, pending a medical and the tying up of loose ends, of course. So it does seem that Gyokeres will be wearing an Arsenal shirt for next season. That's massive for Arsenal. Like I say, that is a needle mover. That is a move that will probably, you know, at least give them a strong, an even stronger chance of getting across that finish line. You know, pursuing those major honours and, you know, competing for the best and biggest trophies that the footballing world has to offer Arsenal as of their current position and state right now. It is a needle mover. Like I say, there's no two ways about it. I was really hoping and praying that Arsenal would go for a Benjamin Sesko, and I would be sat here not completely worried by Arsenal whatsoever. But at the same time, you know, I can't fault this move. Even from the outside looking in, I can't fault the move of Arsenal going for Viktor Gyokeres because it makes sense and it is the right move for Arsenal. They are lacking a clinical goal scorer. They are lacking a goal scorer that doesn't need about 5 or 6 chances to find the back of the net. He can find them. It can find the back of the net 1 every 2, 3 maybe at most. You know, this is a player that has been proving himself in the Portuguese league, proving himself across Europe that he is a goal scoring machine, a deadly killer in front of goal. And you know, that's the position, that's the kind of specification, that's the kind of criteria that Arsenal have been looking out for a couple of years now. And they've managed to have finally got their man, it seems. Took them a while. It took them a while. I'm not 100% sure why they were seemingly umming and ahhing about a man who, like I say, has been outperforming the vast majority of strikers from across Europe. I think he's somewhere in the region of the top goal scorer in Europe these past couple of years. So I don't know why they were umming and ahhing about him and why they were debating, of all people, Benjamin Sesko. But they finally have their man. They finally have their target. And it's a fantastic move for Arsenal. As much as I hate to say it, it is a absolutely fantastic move for Arsenal Football Club. They have finally got their man. And it's, in my opinion, it's going to work out. He's going to be one of the top goal scorers in the Premier League across the next couple of seasons, 2 or 3 seasons at least, depending on how long he stays, of course. He's going to get plenty of opportunities, plenty of chances from the likes of the creative outlets that Arsenal have. I'm sure that Martin Odegaard, you know, as much as he may have not been at his creative or best this past season, may actually favour working off a more clinical striker with better movement than what Kai Havertz has this year with Gyokeres. So maybe, you know, hand in hand, he could help Odegaard rediscover some sort of form. Obviously, there's the left wing situation with Trossard and Martinelli, if they both are staying, of course. And then, of course, Bukayo Saka, who I think is going to have an absolute field day working off this man. I think that he will enhance the players that are around him. I think the players around him will enhance him. I can't see this being a bad move whatsoever. I think it's smart business by Arsenal. It just took them a while to seemingly get there. So, you know, it is what it is. But what it does mean is that there's no more excuses. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, because I'm sure there'll be people out there that will argue this, but there are now no more excuses. If there weren't any before, there definitely are now. No more excuses. Arteta's got everything that he wants. Arteta's had a lot of money thrown at this project. Arteta's had all the players that he could have wanted. Everything that meets the criteria. He's now got the goal-scoring striker, the prolific striker that he has needed all of this time to get across that finish line towards winning silverware of any kind, of any description, whether it be major or some may say minor. He now has it. He now has to use it. And if he doesn't, he's gone. He is gone. And he has to be, because there's no way that you can afford another trophyless season. No way. And with the players that you're bringing in right now, and of course the transfer window isn't even shut yet, and there is talk that Arsenal are going to make maybe another 1 or 2 more pieces of business in this transfer window. Maybe there is going to be an Eberechi Eze that is going to be walking through the doors at the Emirates. Maybe someone else will as well. Maybe another opportunistic signing for the Gunners may rear its head between now and I think it's the beginning of September the window closes. So from now until then, it could happen. There could be more business to be attended to from an Arsenal perspective. There is no more excuses. Arteta has to win something this year. Failure to do so, and he's gone. There are no more excuses. There are no more of this. Well, we don't have the players. Well, this happened and this happened and this happened. I wasn't buying the excuses last season. I'm definitely not buying the excuses this season. You've had everything you could have wanted and more. And yet, if you don't win anything, he has to go. And if there are still anybody out there that is still defending this guy, if that is to happen, I would love to know what the excuse is for next year. I'd love to know what the excuse is next year. For me, he has to win something. Doesn't have to necessarily be the league. He has to at least put in a good challenge for the league. A good competitive challenge for the league, which means running it down to the wire the final day. And of course, he has to at least make a good challenge for the Champions League. Pretty much semi-final or final, depending on obviously who they do get in that competition in the knockouts. If they are to make it there, which again they should. But he has to win something. And then after that, it's about putting everything into context and seeing if the context matches up with everything. Because, like I say, he has had everything and more that he could have had thrown at this project of his. And if he's not to win anything, he's clearly not the guy. He is clearly not the guy. But this is a fantastic start for Arsenal. They finally seemingly got these big deals over the line. Cristhian Mosquera arriving from Valencia to Arsenal has been given the here we go treatment by Fabrizio Romano. But somewhat more significantly, with all due respect, the Viktor Gyokeres saga has seemingly been put to rest. And he is seemingly on the move to Arsenal in this summer transfer window. These are, of course, the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Arsenal and the signing of both Viktor Gyokeres and Cristhian Mosquera? I'd love to know what you guys are thinking and feeling about both of those transfer stories in the comment section down below. And do you agree with me? Is this the win or bust sort of scenario for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal this season? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down there as well about that. As well as obviously the news on both Gyokeres and Mosquera. I'm sure what you have to say will make for great and interesting reading, so please do get involved down below. Otherwise, use and abuse that comment section. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Thank you all for your brand new or continued support to the channel. Whichever one it is, it means an absolute great deal to me, guys, and I cannot thank you enough. It will always be appreciated and never take it for granted. You guys are absolutely awesome. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I'll see you speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very soon.